Holy. Why the hat though? I wonder.
The golden age of America has arrived. President Donald J. Trump, number 47 in 43 minutes. Happy days are here again.
This is We the Sequel, We the People, round 2, as we take back our capital, as we take back the country after January 6th and all of those people rotting in jail for no reason. Most of them.
I'm ready to see gas prices under $1.50. I'm ready to see the Federal Reserve abolished. I'm ready to see Trump buy 1 million Bitcoins for a strategic reserve for us Americans to have. I'm ready to see the southern borders secure. I'm ready to see inflation go down to 0. I'm ready for all the Jan 6 prisoners not only to get a pardon, but to get multi-million-dollar payouts in the future. And I'm ready to go to Greenland and have a nice hotel stay at a future Trump tower that gets built there. I'm ready for that.
Yeah, you know Greenland is like -30 right now, though.
Well, Greenland is really cold and icy, and Iceland is really green and nice, right?
Yeah, it was like they named it that to trick the Vikings. So Iceland's the green one. So they were like, the Vikings, they were scared of them, so they were just like, yo, we're going to call Greenland Iceland and reverse it. So that the Vikings got to Greenland and were like, fuck.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm really honestly going to be proud to see our president able to walk and not crap himself in front of the world stage. It's nice to have a president that can speak English without mumbling. It's nice to have a president that the people on the world stage actually respect and maybe fear a little bit. Remember when he did the thing with Rocket Man? People said he was going to start World War III. He's like, Rocket Man, I've got the biggest rocket. I got a bigger button. I've got a bigger rocket.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
And everyone said that was going to start World War III. But did it? No, it actually backed off Rocket Man. And in the end, they ended up shaking hands, which had never been done before. Never been done in the history of the world. And it's that strength that you need when you come into a negotiation. You don't need some guy bumbling and barely able to walk, rolling up in front of the world leaders. They're laughing behind our backs. They're making us look foolish. At least Trump has swagger. He's got Americana, and he's a badass.
I definitely think he's learned a lot. I think, while we definitely didn't want the last 4 years, I think he's benefited from 4 years of just seeing what can happen. And now he's got the right team assembled. He knows how to move things around. And I think we're going to see real meaningful change.
Yeah, I'm ready for Elon to really cut most of the 2 million plus jobs in the federal government out of the equation. And I'm ready to see over 400 bureaucracies here in the United States that are like a cancer in God's U.S. Republic completely abolished. The IRS needs to be abolished.
I would like to see, say, Department of Education gone. I would like to see ATF gone.
Why do you want the Department of Education shut down?
Before the Department of Education, we were ranked 9th in the world. Or no, we were 7th in the world.
In education.
Yes, in education. After the Department of Education, I think today, we are about 14th. No Child Left Behind, drastically dumbed down. The curriculums made it so that students couldn't fail. And then every time the curriculum is seen to be upgraded, the teachers union shut it down.
Interesting. Do you think teachers should be paid more?
No.
Why?
There shouldn't be a public education system.
And I'm ready for Donald John Trump to make Bitcoins a legal tender here, like what has happened in El Salvador with Nayib Bukele.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
What's the benefit of having a cryptocurrency reserve?
Well, with Bitcoins, we have to adapt to that as Americans. We have to have that because if we don't, we're going to be very far behind of other nations like El Salvador, who's leading the way.
Yeah.
Those people there.
I guess it's just important to have market regulation when it comes to, Bitcoin because of pump and dump schemes. Like, did you see the Haktua coin?
Right. That's a huge problem. We have Bitcoins. They're incredible. And then we have all the scam coins out there. And there are so many.
I wouldn't mind Bitcoin if it wasn't so slow. I feel like for what people use it for what people its actual usage, Ethereum clears. Like, it's like Bitcoin was kind of there early on. It's like it has its all value because it's more mainstream. But for how people use it on a daily, Ethereum is a lot better. It's instant. The only problem is, there's gas fees, I guess. So, maybe the third one will be better, as in like what people choose. But I still think Ethereum is probably better.
Altcoins that are just wreaking havoc.
Yeah, because it's
Life
hard.
after life after life.
It's hard because you want to have a free market, but then the crypto world is just so full of scams. It's like you need some element of regulation.
Right. There needs to be some type of thing put in, and hopefully Trump can.
Solana is for people that have a problem with the brain and just want to scam everybody with fucking pump and dump rug schemes. There's nothing else with Solana than pump and dump rugs and having mental problems, like all of them. I'm not talking like, oh, I'm disabled. Like, I have every problem in mankind in my head, so I will buy Solana type shit.
Get it done.
What do you think about this upcoming presidency, bro?
I'm actually Cuban. I was born in Cuba. I came in 2011. First terms for Trump, didn't really agree with him. Didn't really agree with the way that he spoke about immigrants, especially I was not citizen yet. I didn't think about voting on the second term, but something happened. And I saw that Biden took like such a comfortable back seat during July 6th back in Cuba. I don't know if you've heard about the situation.
Tell us about it.
So I think it was 2022. There was a massive revolt all around the island.
You know what I find funny about chat is that they try to say that everybody's racist, and then people are racist, and then, oh, dude, that's racist. And when they see somebody that's Hispanic, they're like, this guy's gonna get deported, automatically thinking that like these guys are illegals because they can't differentiate illegals from legals, whatever, and they're just generalizing, making them pretty insensitive, aka racist in most people's definition.
The cities where
Again, another example of like libtards saying everybody racism here, racism there, when there isn't, and it just makes them like racist. But they're so far left that they don't even get it.
taking to the streets, protesting that they were sick and tired. There's no food, there's no power. The government basically hoards all the resources, and instead of distributing them like they're supposed to, communism, they give it to like.
It's the people that see racism everywhere that are usually pretty racist. Hey, I'm gonna make a big generalization. People that try to call everything for being racist, usually on the grand scheme of things, are actually pretty racist themselves. Because not everybody sees race everywhere. People that are racist see race everywhere. That's
the people that were close with them, the agents,
like Venezuela.
Like Venezuela, exactly, same thing. It was violent. The police were, there are videos of police breaking into like the house of one of the organization leaders. They shot him right in front of the family. You can see like the blood running. It's really sad. I was crying throughout that entire place. Like it was tragic.
And how did Biden respond to the July 6th events?
He didn't do anything. He basically said we're not gonna touch anything revolving around Cuba. We're gonna leave them to their devices. And there's a group of Cubans that today are gonna be having a protest in front of the White House to basically encourage Trump to look at that situation and try to do something, try to help. And fair.
How long did it take you to achieve citizenship?
Well, for me, it was around 6-7 years. It's not hard. You just gotta know history, learn the history. They literally give you a booklet with the answers.
I don't know how it works with the birthright citizenship. I don't know how that actually works. Like, if you're, yeah, I don't know how that works, and I don't know how, if that's a thing.
Jesus. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Can you tell me about your sign?
Sure. So mine says protect trans kids. There's a lot of discourse about trans people right now. All of the talking points being made are word for word identical to what they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago about gay people.
It's like we have mutants living among us on planet Earth.
I think if kids want to change their name, explore gender identity, do whatever the fuck they want, that's fine. If they at some point want to do something medical about it, then they can have an informed conversation with a parent and or medical professional.
And what threat do you think the next 4 years pose to that?
I mean, Trump said he's going to sign an executive order on day one saying that there are two genders. So there's a pretty imminent threat of getting kicked out of the military, losing gender-inclusive care. People.
I am against all type of like bodily modifications before age of 18. Even with dog. That's just my take. Okay, I usually don't take stances on this. Okay, making permanent life-altering decisions before you're developed enough to make a decision is I think, ridiculous. It's why I don't like tattoos before 18. I don't like when I see them. I call them out. You guys know this already. Even piercing sometimes, I think it's kind of like, it's what it is.
People are gonna die from this, and that's really shitty.
Transgender students in sports became a top issue on the 2024 campaign trail and now a top priority of House Republicans in the new Congress.
Is that what he said? I don't know if that was his thing, was it? I thought you said like with and or.
I mean, Trump said he's gonna sign gay people.
It's like we have.
If kids want to change their name, explore gender identity, do whatever the fuck they want, that's fine. If they at some point want to do something medical about it, then they can have an informed conversation.
I don't think the guy's using the word kids, so I'm thinking less than 18, and saying all that, and an informed decision with a. I don't think there should be discussion. Sorry, guys. This is why I draw the line. Okay, I don't think there should even be a conversation. I think it should just be a no.
With a parent and or medical professional.
And what threat do you think the next 4 years pose to that?
If some guy gets wakes up, he's 20 years old, and there's some form of change in mentality, whatever, and they're like, dude, why did they let me do this when I was fucking 15 or something like that, right? I will feel at 20 that my parents and the system failed me for allowing and enabling things that I couldn't have known at the time because I was too young. I wasn't developed enough to make a decision. They made it for me, and they made the wrong one. That it's not on me at that point. It's on them.
I mean,
it's why I wasn't protect children in that way, because they can't make those decisions. So when you make a decision for them, I mean, it puts you at fault.
Said he's going to sign an executive order on day one saying that there are two genders. So there's a pretty imminent threat of getting kicked out of the military, losing gender inclusive care. People are going to die from this, and that's really shitty.
Transgender students in sports became a top issue on the 2024 campaign trail and now a top priority of House Republicans in the new Congress.
The only time that the general public started caring about trans people in women's sports was when they started winning. Like, Leah Thomas isn't even,
That's a problem. That's a problem. This is another one. This actually might be even a radical take of mine, and I hope I don't offend anybody. Okay. In a lot of sports, it's male dominant in terms of raw numbers. More males than females participate in such sports, or a lot of times in a lot of the sports, even esports, video games, there's a lot more men than women. Okay, so people try their best to be inclusive towards women and try to include them as much as possible, right? To foster that behavior that, hey, you can do whatever you want in life. You want to do this sport, it's not a guy's sport, you can be part of it. You want to play dodgeball, you want to do this, whatever, you can do if you want to. And to enable women to do these things, and we should, because these things are fun to do and do sports. But then, if there is some validity in having unfair competition, at that point you might think it's for women and it's opening up to women. Brother, it's gonna shutting them down to do it now, because it's like, oh, now that they just get crushed for. I mean, let's be honest. There are some biological markers that give them a significant advantage in that department, and now you're kind of like muting it. You're kind of attenuating it, that effort to foster more women to participate in sports, and I think that's a problem. And also, in terms of other sports, like let's say wrestling or combat sports, it can be just flat out dangerous. That was my thing last time. Certain genuine, like actual biological markers that make up a guy once they transition him. It's not full. Not every marker disappears. Like your bones don't disappear, and I think it can be dangerous for participants to go against that. It's flat out dangerous. I wouldn't want to. I don't know.
She's a good swimmer. She's not the best.
Yeah.
There's no epidemic of men going into women's sports and sweeping competition. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And
If I had a daughter and she wanted to do boxing, so be it. Okay, go into boxing, whatever. Okay, if she's good, first match. Like they wear equipment or whatever. They're oh jeez, man, what the fuck? I think there is a genuine, and it's not a misplaced worry that this woman might be injured if somebody that has physiological advantages to compete against them. I would feel like a bad parent for putting in that position to like get damaged, but it's dangerous.
And also being on estrogen long term actually like weakens your physical abilities. And medical transition is often necessary to compete in women's sports for trans people. So like
hatred has won, and that is...
See, like this guy. This is dude. There's only 10, whatever. I don't care if it's 10, 100, or 1. Why is it that now the numbers don't matter? Usually say, oh no, everything matters, everyone matters, everyone. But now it's only 10. Oh, it's only no. I don't. That's not. I think that's some bullshit cop outs.
Is depressing. I cried on election day. I know so many other women who cried on election day. This means that so many people have to go into hiding, can't be themselves. People are, like Grant said, people are gonna die. People are. It's just I'm legitimately terrified for my immigrant friends. I stay awake at night thinking about them, thinking about trans people. Whether or not you think that gay people should exist, trans people should exist, immigrants should be here or not, what I hope we can all come together and understand is that humans are humans. Maybe they did commit a crime, maybe they do something that you don't agree with. They are still people. The mass deportations of immigrants.
Hey, Biden supported the Vietnam War and killed a lot.
The mass deportation of immigrants is going to kill people.
Right?
Yeah, Biden's shit.
Okay, great.
What are your thoughts on the whole like mass deportation issue?
Mass deportation. My wife is Mexican. Like I said, I live by the border.
What I find funny is that it was like Trump is shit, Biden is shit, but they only show up to one protest. That inherently is a problem.
Of the Mexican people, there's a lot of good people. We definitely start at the top, meaning the worst, and work our way down. You know, necessarily not so many. All these little, people.
I'm just saying. People say, oh yeah. Every time you say, oh yeah, but Trump did this again, but Biden did that, and then they go, oh yeah, he's also shit. Okay, but are you vocal about that? Do you go to the protests? Do you participate in those dialogues? Or do you only participate in those dialogues when you're cornered because now you look like you're biased in one way? Oh no, I also did this. I also did that. I have to be honest with you. 99% of the people that do it, they don't. They only do it one way.
People with their families or people second generation, this and that. You know, let's not get too carried away. We'll start with the worst and we'll work our way down. When you got murderers and rapists in San Diego County, we have not just a sanctuary city, we have a super sanctuary city where not only can you not tell ICE if there's a problem with an illegal alien, you can't tell them even if they committed armed robbery or rape. They're like, no, what about the poor rapists and armed robbery? We can't send them back. We can't tell ICE.
We will not allow our local resources to be used for actions that separate families.
So they don't want to use the resources.
Guys, I don't mind bringing up problems, okay, and going against some solutions, but I generally don't have a solution. I generally thought about it. I don't have a rest of the solution, but how to categorize, let's say, in sports, categorize like women, guy, trans. I don't have a solution. It's not a PR answer. I've thought about it. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. Because in a way, guys, I kind of feel for the girls, chat. Guys, you think about how many contestants are in a competition that's only let's say women, and you think, okay, you have this big sample size. How many in this department that are trans? Okay, let's say this of them, right? So you should have the same amount of people that are winning than losing. But then you look, okay, but it's disproportionate on how many competitors and how many people are winning, and now you can see how it's a little bit discouraging, and it's a little bit odd, and you can see how there's a motivation of people that might try to emulate that in order to kind of get into those fields and win and crush, and I think that's kind of unfair for them, and I think that's shutting women down from participating in stuff and wanting to do stuff. I think it's a problem.
Which is what they calling ICE just because they want to protect illegal aliens. I think the people that are doing these laws are actually paid off by the cartel. It's a crazy conspiracy. I know. You know, it's one thing having immigration, but when you just have a total open border, and then when they come in, they get free health care, they get free cell phones, they get free hotels when our homeless people are living on the streets. I mean, come on, people. We got to do this legally, right?
We need to have a very solid immigration policy so we keep attracting the best talents across the world to this land to build it up, build the economy, build companies, hire employee people, you know. I pay tax, and I want my tax to benefit my neighbors, my country, and my children, and my neighborhood, my community, right? I don't want other countries to take advantage of United States people.
Scientology is a cult. Thank you.
Are you a Scientologist?
Nope.
Do you think
Women and children.
do you think that we're Scientologists?
Nope. Just getting the message out. That's all.
Okay, what's the worst thing Scientology's done?
They use children for auditing, so 8, 9, 10-year-olds are asking grown men about masturbation and anal sex.
That's not good. Do you feel like
hashtag save the children?
Are you hoping for like exoneration for the January 6th people?
I am indeed. In fact, I was down there at the vigil for the J6ers down on Freedom Corner with Mickey Withoff, who is Ashley Babbitt's mother. In fact, I have Ashley Babbitt's ashes in this necklace right here.
Those people
I
lost
made
a
this
lot of money in
necklace
that hashtag, I think.
with Ashley Babbitt's ashes. I made it for her and her husband.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
And I was down there and I was told that the word on the street is the guards were told to stay late tonight to help release the prisoner.
Guys, it was a joke, guys. It was the fucking Save the Kids fucking phase token, like a rug pull, man. Everybody, holy shit, lighten up, man. It's lighten the fuck up.
Are they being held in D.C. right now?
Oh, yeah. They're not far from here, a few miles down the street.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. Any message to the American people before we go?
You should go watch his movie. This guy makes some great documentaries. I went to his premiere. It was freaking awesome. Thanks, brother.
I appreciate you, Matt. Thanks, Doc. Have a good one.
If you missed it, just 5 days ago, we dropped our first ever independent film called Dear Kelly, approximately 5 cents. So if you want to support us and see the movie, head on over. All right, back to the streets of DC.
Oh yeah, we are surrounded by ancient pagan symbols, from the obelisk there, which may be the biggest obelisk in the world, to the dome there of Isis, the ever-pregnant womb of Isis in the occult mindset. That's what that is. With the apotheosis of George.
Wait, I played the game yesterday. I played the game. Isis, the goddess of like fertility or whatever, and with the aliens.
George Washington, which is that mural inside the dome, which represents that Masonic future that so many Masons are into having, where they ascend as a god into some type of paradise. It's not from the Bible, and I'm totally against all that. I'm standing here for Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the Lord of the heavens and the earth.
Wait, I'm a bit confused. You're here for Jesus Christ. However, the pagan symbology is also important.
Well, it's not important to me, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the plan that was put in place to build Washington, D.C. was a plan, in fact, to honor the ancient gods. And the plan was not to honor Jesus Christ. The people who designed this place, the main people, were into it to honor their Masonic god, who is Satan, recorded about in the King James Version Bible.
Who do you think was controlling Biden behind the scenes?
Obama was definitely a key player. But again, in my research, Obama is more like a manager in Satan's hierarchy. He's got the World Economic Forum, he's got the UN, he's got King Charles and the monarchy. He's got so many different groups that have extreme amounts of power compared to me.
Yeah. Do you think that there's kind of like a second deep state forming around Trump?
Well, just protect Trump from having that happen, God. Please help him not to make the same mistakes that he made when he was the 43rd president of the United States, God.
And where do you get most of your news and information from?
X, not just Infowars.com with Alex Jones.
Did you use X back when it was in control of Jack Dorsey?
Well, I did, and I got suspended multiple times.
Was that kind of a wake-up call for you, just having your account taken down multiple times?
I was really aware of that type of thing back in 2013 when I started listening to Alex Jones. He started to wake me up to how things really work in a general way. How we're in a war, and there's a group called the Globalists, and they want to depopulate the earth, and they want to get it down to under 500 million people.
Yeah.
And they want to bring in their new world order system, their technotronic state where you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. It's right there in the book of Revelation, the King James Version Bible. I mean, we may live in that time. We may go through it. I'm ready to die for Jesus. I'm never taking the mark of the beast no matter what.
What's the mark of the beast?
It could be a microchip in your hand. This one, your right one, or And your left one, and then
I wouldn't mind this Alex Jones memes if it's about like flat earthers or whatever, when it doesn't really affect anybody or whatever, right? Or it's kind of like just thing he says. But whenever it's this like big ass dumbass theory that affects like the victims of the fucking people that had like dead children from the shootings or whatever, that's not right. That's where I draw the line. That's like, it's okay to be like entertaining, making memes and shit of like some science like cosmic bullshit. But when it's something that has like an actual call to action and people do shit, that's fucking weird. I'm sorry, that's just disgusting.
maybe it's some type of Neuralink chip in your head.
Yeah.
Or maybe something more advanced than that.
Yeah.
Some people have said the nanoparticulates, or however you say it, in those bioweapon shots from Big Pharma are some type of Mark of the Beast thing. But I don't know.
Hey, man, well, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for your time, man.
No, I know,
appreciate you. Our show's called Channel 5.
What is that?
Be sure to check it out, man. Appreciate you, dude.
You're awesome.
Thank you. You're awesome, too.
Thank you, God, for his life.
Yeah, man.
I love you.
You, too.
Is it in the air?
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers.
Particles, yeah, stuff like that.